Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the latest live episode from Peter Wray's Adventures, live stream 314. Topic for tonight, I thought about, do you get nervous in life and nervous in reselling? So I've got a load of bits and pieces I want to talk about that I've wrote down on my mobile regarding reselling and in general, actually life. You got any questions? Put them in the side chat. Hope you're all well. And don't know me, I'm Peter Wray, part-time eBay reseller, all-round legend. And I've got Instagram and Facebook. You can find those in the description below. Ko-fi page, buy me a coffee, and my eBay store. It's always in the or usually in the description below on most of my videos, and here as well. You can view my eBay profile and have a look through what I've got listed. And yeah, I'll go through who's in the side chat in a sec. So we've got Pat's popped in. Welcome, Pat. There we go. Pat's popped in. We've got Antoinette's popped in there. We've got Monkey Thrifter Pete's popped in. Richard Payne. We've got Ali Evans. We've got Michelle popped in. Welcome, Michelle. And that's it so far. So that's 13 watching. If you've got any comments, either leave them in the side chat and I'll get to the questions and that as soon as I can, or if you're watching after the video's finished, then drop a question or a comment in the comment section below. I'll answer it when I can. So folks, do you ever find you legends, you ever get nervous in life or in your reselling game? Hi Richard, thanks for popping in, mate. Hope all is well your end. In relation to, for example, like reselling, meeting new people, whether it would be at meetups, for example, or someone recognized you, if you're like a YouTuber, for example, let us know. Or even general, like keep on top of your bills, for example, or talking on the phone can be quite scary. So we got down there Derek popped in. Welcome, Derek. Hope all is well, mate. So I'll go down my list. I've got anything that makes you nervous in life and nervous through reselling. Let me know in the side chat. Right. So first point here that I've got is a reselling point, which will be meeting people at meetups, i.e., if you get chatting to them, for example. Hi, Lee. Thanks for popping in, mate. Appreciate that. So there's plenty of meetups that have been organised throughout the years. I've been to many meetups in Hitchin, Bristol, Eastbourne, and that. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy them, but it can be quite nerve-wracking. So the first Hitchin meetup was in 2018 at some point. I think it might be near the end of the year. And I wasn't nervous about going to Hitchin via the train or walking around Hitchin, filming, and Hitchin itself being a new town. I relished the time away, right? But I was more nervous walking into the pub, the Angel Vaults in Hitchin, and meeting people. So, for example, like going up, I think I said on my video that I'm here meeting friends. I remember Carla about a month or two later said that on a live video, and it's quite nervous because I didn't know pretty much anyone. what people are going to be like, what the evening entailed, and what happened. But I had a really good time. I mean, a really good time at the Hitchin meetup, and I always do. And since then, like the nerves for that particular Hitchin meetup, I haven't got any nerves as such. And the fact is, like, I went to Bristol, and that's like over 3 hours via train, many train stops and changes and that. And that was a little bit nerve-wracking, I suppose, but I wasn't scared as such of meeting people there, because it was weird. Where I stayed was right next to where the pub was, and there was like 50, 60 people. If you've been to Bristol meetup back in I think it was April 19, I think it was. Carla organised it, Lex, and others and that. And it was really good. It's like 50, 60 people. I'm not even joking. Might have even been more than that. So many people who actually made the meetup. It was brilliant. And then obviously like other hitching ones and stuff. And I did get a little bit nervous in Eastbourne, right? Last year, I think it was the 8th of July. But on the Friday of 7th, I went down to Eastbourne, and travel was fine. And going around Eastbourne filming was fine. But go up the stairs where the pub is, because it's got 2 floors. Up the stairs, and I was like, I don't really know anyone who's here, to be honest. Well, I knew a couple of people might be there. I was like, wasn't sure. I was quite nervous for a while. I was up here, and then like over a few hours, I came down to a point where I felt really comfortable with people, and that's the same with other meetups I've been to. People, we just chat and we get to know each other, and there's no animosity or nothing. It's brilliant. But I think personally, for a reselling point of view, and that can actually be a general point of view as well, meeting people, because a lot of like people go as a reseller, and some go because they like just want to meet people as they watch on the video and they don't resell at all. That's one point though. But do let me know what gets you nervous through life and through reselling. We go down the chat. Hi Bills and Moon, thanks for popping in. Hi Jimmy, thanks for popping in. Great show last night, by the way. Really enjoyed the show. Jimmy does a show on a Tuesday night, and really enjoy it. Comedy, like to get into different characters, singing, all sorts and that, and it's really entertaining. Do follow Jimmy Riddle's show. Hi, Lilac Vinty. Evening. Who else has popped in there? Oh, we got a comment there. Wouldn't say I'm nervous at meeting people, but more of excitement. First person I met at my first meetup was you, Pete. Yes. Very true. It was in Hitchin. That's right. 2021 December. That's right. Yeah. To be fair, yeah, it is of an excitement in that particular way. I do agree with you 100%. Like I say, first meetup for me, I was very nervous anyway. And then obviously with meeting new people, because most of the people who I met through Eastbourne meetup were Instagrammers, and I don't get a chance to follow like what people are doing day by day. I just catch glimpses here and there. But yeah, it's very excitement, and then obviously I find that excitement sort of is for a few days afterwards, and then you go, and that's it, back to normal. But yeah, with meeting people at meetups, and that. Let's go down the list. What we got? I find nerves are just a fear of unknown. Once you've done something and it worked out well, it's never so bad next time. Very, very true. Yes, regarding the meetups and stuff. And another thing I've got on my list as well. Yes, as soon as you've done one thing like well, and you know the journey to a place like meetup, or you know the people there, and you meet people, and it's great. I weren't even nervous for like when I went out on a meet with Andrew on the Hitchin meetup on the Friday. Nowhere near. 'Cause I had that. Well, we're not actually on a night out as such, but at meetups before, pleasure meeting Andrew because I met him at first at the Bristol meetup 2019. It was like wow, and I kind of like feel that like nerves is part of the course anyway, and that's why like especially at meetups we don't always pluck up the courage to go and talk to someone, and then in the end you don't do it, which is unfortunate. Hi, Town Bell. Thanks for popping in. Hope's all is well. Uh, I love the meetups I've been to. Everyone I've met has been ace and very friendly. Indeed, yes, very, very true. Including the ones you woke up at silly o'clock with an alarm call. Yeah, no, we're all sort of like friendly as such, and that particular. No worries, Jimmy. Always appreciated. Hi, Derek. Thanks for popping in. I saw Derek before. Hi, Pete WW. Appreciate that. Cheers for that, Pete. Do go and follow Jimmy Riddle on his videos and his live streams. Another video from Town Bell. Go and check Town Bell out. Hi, Balam. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate that. Right. Ian J's popped in. Welcome, Ian. Go down the list. Yeah. I know. It was alright. I wondered the clanging noise. It's like, oh. Like, I was a bit like half asleep. Because I think I just woken up at the time, about to roll out of bed. I think I really did. Next barn video. Oh, a wicked, Derek. Yep, lovely. The next one I've got on my list, because I go through one for the reselling and another one for like general. But let me know if you've got any points like about getting nervous with reselling and in general, and any other questions you want to put in the side chat. Get into that. Next one, reselling, creating contacts. It can be very nerve-wracking trying to create contacts, whether it be a contact via a charity shop where maybe you've gone into this particular charity shop most days of the week and you struck up a friendship with the manager and people who work in there, and they've given you given you a good word in between, and maybe for that particular contact you may have to buy a lot of stuff to actually keep the contact, which can be nerve-wracking in itself. And then you've got contacts where you get like bulk deals, which I'll talk to you about a bit later. I've got it on here somewhere about bulk deals. And I see a lot of resellers, they try and grab up contacts where you need to buy in bulk, like have some serious dosh to buy in bulk, keep the contact. I can be nervous as such, like thinking, have I actually got the space to deal with the bulk deal that I've got, i.e. Nick when he got his lot, and Bullfines and others who have got bulk deals. But most of us don't really go looking for contacts as such. We just are okay of going to charity shops, Carboots, jumbo sales, and picking out individual lots and working through those. But some like the challenge, and it can get very nerve-wracking, thinking how much money have I got to outlay? Is it worth doing it as such? And like when you go do charity shopping, you got the managers as a contact, and they phone you up, like some people in the reselling community have, and they're like, right, sometimes you have to take the dross with the good stuff. You'll be lucky if you could pick and choose in a charity shop out the back anyway. And literally like and then it's the same with the wholesale bulk, like creating that contact for your future business. If you think you can have the space, got the space for it, and keep the money rolling in, try and sell that stuff quick as you can to get the next slot in, like what Andrew used to do with the clothing side of things, with contacts and stuff. Just get loads and loads of things in, try and sell them off. Some worked, some didn't. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. Right. Let's go down the list. What are we going down the list? Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, did he mention about Fleetwood Jump? So hopefully it goes well this weekend. Right. Yes, that's what I was going to talk about. I've also met people through non-meetup situations. Like I met Derek and Richard last year at the mini run near where I live, and the videos on my channel. And it was really good to meet people, and also meet people through like when I'm in the queue for like Carboots and stuff. It's some of them are only like a chance meeting you meet once every so often, where you think, okay. And some people you meet and go, oh shit, why am I meeting you? That's just where you go. But most of them are really nice, and you chat to them for 20 minutes, half hour in a queue, and it's like, okay. Whether it be a car boot, a jumble sale, for example. But some, like when I met Derek and Richard, and we had a few hours chat, and it was really interesting to actually have that downtime where you can chat about a lot of things without the added pressure of like trying to talk to a lot of other people about when in meetups and stuff, and thinking, shit, I said the wrong thing here and there. But obviously, what stays in these situations, and we all got the like Facebook groups and Instagram groups where you chat and WhatsApp and all that. Because we're all are in different groups, like, if you know what I mean. We're all in different groups as such, so it's like as you know, so you get to know a lot of people about people and stuff, and you relate to things. So that's like one of the side things anyway, creating contacts. And then obviously what Bill's Moon says there about meeting people there. And yeah, it's always good to meet people as such outside. I don't very well, I very rarely get a chance to meet people outside of like a car boot queue, jumble sale queue, or even like meetups and that, which is a shame. But it is what it is. Lee says doesn't go looking for contacts, but I have a couple of contacts that have actually naturally come along. I think some just do to be honest. I've had contacts before, early on in my business, where you like know people and they know people, and you get some good stuff, but though fizzled out quite a while ago, and COVID come along, and that was it. Boom. But it's good to have some contacts. But you got to be wary of how much stuff they expect you to buy. I expect you and the money outlay, how much you're gonna actually spend per month or per week or whatever it may be. And if you really only do it when you got the space, a bit like some of the US resellers doing Aussie thrifters from the Australia, Mel as well. She does that, the contacts. Got any questions? Put them in the side chat. Now we've got 23 watching. Okay. I know why. Fair enough. It is what it is. Others gone live. Fair enough. You met Derek and Joanne today for sourcing and breakfast trip. Had a great day. Check out the video later. Fancy it. Fair enough. I think you did say the other week you were going to meet Derek and Joanne. I've never met Joanne, but I've met Derek many times at meetups and last year's mini run, and sound guy, same with his brother and that. But it's really difficult to like meet everyone you want to meet within a community, because everyone lives down here, up there, miles away as such. And all these meetups that are happening, for example, like one that went in January in Hitchin, or you've got the one 20th of May in Manchester, or you've got like Eastbourne the 24th of June, I think it is, or the 8th of July when you've got the meetup in Milton Keynes, for example, and then obviously you've got the other one in Birmingham in August, 26th of August, and that. And it's very difficult to actually come along because we all live different places and it's very expensive and stuff. And most of the people just chat through groups and stuff, and on occasional time meet up. But it's always good to try and meet people, not just locally, people who are far away. You only see once a year, but you chat to regularly online. I get nervous when I'm driving and have a police car behind me. Paranoia kicks in. I don't know why. I see. Okay. Did I mention driving on my list? Oh yes, I have. Well, in a roundabout way, but I can understand that. Yeah, we all have to slow down. We should do it anyway. Contacts are great, says Derek. However, never to be relied on. Correct, because they can go, as Derek says, go at any time. Correct. You always have to try and feed the beast. And as Derek says, they can go at any time, as what my contacts did before, which I kept a secret. And I have to this day. And like, it's also as well when you get to know other people that you chat to locally, whether it's at boot sales or jumble sales and that, and you know who they're getting the stock off and why they're getting it off and this, that, and the other, and it's like a community sort of thing. But their thing, what happens is you if you found out like I don't know someone at a Carboots is getting lead stock from another seller like as a contact, then you don't step on their toes. It's happened before. I'll say no more about that one, but it's happened before, and you never step on that person's toes on that contact, because it can cause havoc. But I understand what you mean about the never to be relied on, as the contacts can go every like at any time. Hi, AA, thanks for popping in. Derek says there he currently has 3 regular contacts, but he's always aware they may fizzle out at any point, so never presume they can supply forever. Very true. Yeah, it's good in a way to have a contact, but are your contacts flexible with you only buying a certain amount of items at a certain time, or are they these type of contacts where you have to just buy everything, even the crap, to get the good stuff? Because otherwise, if you don't, that contact will go somewhere else. Let me know, Derek. Hi, Pete. Taylor Keith, thanks for popping in. Hope all is well up northeast. Don't have a list. Yeah, there's plenty of the meetups so far this year. I don't know how many I'm going to get to, because I'm hoping to get to Eastbourne and Birmingham as such. So yeah, it'd be good to get out for like a few days rest and relaxation. But it really is a hard thing, because like Emma Reseller, who's on Instagram, she mentioned earlier about being nervous like at meetups when she went to Liverpool, I think last year. She didn't know anyone as such, and Reselling Polly, which is Sam, I think like messaged her or something, and was going, I think she said, and they become good friends. That's what happens when you go to meetups. You can become good friends as well. And like when you chat to people online and through here and through Messenger and stuff, WhatsApp and that, meet people, you become good friends. Yeah, you get the people who you see at Carboots and you converse, and they're lovely to converse with, and you don't see them a week. You may see them in a couple of weeks' time or whatever. But some people you sort of like regularly chat to, and do see once, 2, 3, 4 times a year, and that, which is always a good thing. Because I personally think myself, if I hadn't started reselling, I would not have the confidence to do a lot of things, i.e., drive far. Because back in the day, when I learnt to drive, back in 2008, yes, that's when I learnt to drive, May or June, whatever it was, 2008, when I passed my test. For a number of years, I was scared to drive far because I was really like nervous about everything, and literally thinking, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen there and stuff. And I'm nervous about phoning people and sorting things out. And then if anything went wrong, I would stress out because of my Asperger's and stuff. And coming as a reseller and doing these live chats, I have gained so much confidence levels to do a lot of things, even to come on live and chat and just talk and with, especially with guests. That's nerve-wracking as it is with guests. And I'm like to myself, okay, back like before 2018, when I really ramp up my lives, I was scared to do that, drive far and scary. But these days, for a number of years, since before the pandemic, I was getting out of there, meeting more people, chatting to people, gaining confidence levels and going, right, I'm going to go up here for a jumble sale, down here for a Carboot, I'm going to meet someone, meet here, going to go here, going to go to this meetup in Hitchin, going to go to Bristol, going to go up or down to Bournemouth. I don't know who's going, but I'll go anyway. So I thank everyone who I've chatted to over the years, who has made me gain my confidence levels, because it's really tricky. I still occasionally get a bit tongue-tied and I go like, not sure what I'm going to say, and like, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, but mostly I'm okay with a lot of things these days, and I have more confidence level to do a lot of things and be able to chat to more people when I see them out and about and at meetups and stuff, and go up to them and say, hi, how are you? And not just cower in the corner and go like that, get really scared. And that's actually focused me in life as well, where I chat to people down the dentist, or I chat to people when I'm having my glasses done, or in a charity shop, or just like say hello and whatever else. And because sometimes I don't feel it, but a lot of the time I feel it realistically. Right, let's get to the next point in a sec. Got your driving test booked next month. So praying I pass. Good luck, pass first time. Make sure you sort out all your like signals and all your maneuvers and stuff. I'm not sure like what driving tests actually comprise of these days. But all the best with reseller kids, because I took 3 times to pass my theory and 3 times to pass my driving test. The first time on a driving test, some idiots went across the road in a place called Surbiton. It's very built up. You're getting there to go to Kingston upon Thames and then inner London sort of thing. So it's very busy. I stopped, but you only had to think about a certain amount of minor marks, and I went over. I think a certain amount of minor marks, or if something happened, you get like a I think like a red mark or something like that, and that was that. And then second half was my fault, going on to A3 dual, and I didn't look behind. I nearly hit a Picasso. But then the third time I passed it and stuff. And the funny thing is, when I did the emergency stop, where the drive instructor banged the clipboard on there, so hard. This person, I think it's a woman, they went straight through the window, literally, she's like that. It's like, oh, sorry. Because back in those days, 2008, I didn't have to wear these spectacles. Only since like what 24, 5 or whatever it was. I have to wear them occasionally, and more so these days. Back then I didn't, so I learned to drive without needing spectacles. And the funny thing is, on my last test, I got the person to actually, I was allowed to move a bit nearer to read it because you had to read number plate. Basically to read number plate, a nearer one. But yeah, I did many maneuvers. When I passed, I did a turn in the road, reverse park, reverse around. I did a reverse around the corner halfway, and then a lorry came back, so I had to get in first gear and signal left and go to the left anyway. And I was like, wow. When I passed, it's literally my first proper achievement of my life. Obviously, I've used to do gymnastics a lot and gained trophies and medals for gymnastics over the years as a kid and a teenager. But first proper light, because I was still at college at the time. I think I might have just nearly left college. I gained 2 certificates for IT, MBQs and that for IT. And first major thing I'd done in my life. And for years I was scared to actually go out and drive. I didn't really want to drive. But only since like confident, like in my mid-20s, and even up until I started reselling, confidence levels got straight up, and that's why I find it easy enough to drive. It's like when you go around jumble trails, like if you see garage sales. Because I was watching American guy, Bonafide Hustler, and his brother E Money, with short hair these days, not at the side, but and they were going around garage sales, watching that like at 4 or 5 in the morning, and they were going around garage sales, and he was driving and all that stuff. It's like reminds me of jumble trails and stuff, and like how it can be very difficult, tight and stuff, and you've got to really know where to go and stuff and what a road like. Because here in UK the potholes are really bad, especially my way and stuff. But yeah, like confidence as well of driving further. And yeah, in the past I've had minor accidents. I hit a Mercedes for my first crash, very low, and a bit of bollard occasionally, and of course touch wood and all that. It's all looked good, and I sort of do enjoy driving. I don't mind it. Don't do it all the time, but when I do, I don't mind it. Hop in the car and do whatever. But yeah, confidence levels are going. But good luck, reseller kid. Sick of buses. A crowd had a car for well over a year now. Just been practicing. See, I practiced. Yeah, I did that. With my dad and that, and that weren't great. But yeah, I used to drive in when I do my lessons in a Vauxhall Corsa, because like funny thing is with the Vauxhall Corsa, I was driving in to learn the actual reverse. It wasn't where it normally is, but it was like left and up. I was like, oh, okay. It took me a long time to get used to it, because in the Fiesta it's down, right, and down again, and that, and it's like you get if you try and get out of the habit, because if you're learning in both, it's like because do 2 or 3 lessons a week and that, because we knew the instructor anyway, and we got cheaper deals on that. Hi Darren, thanks for popping in, mate. Appreciate that. Contact are flexible. That's always good though, to have a flexible contacts, Derek. I've been recognised in charity shops and boot sales. Sometimes they ask for a selfie, which I always oblige. Okay. Yeah, it's what I will come on to in a bit. Yeah, it's always good. I've been recognised. But remember, I will say this. I remember the first time I got recognised, which was back in about 2018, April 18, out of the meetup in Bristol. A couple of blonde ladies shouting my name out. I ain't got a clue where they were. I hadn't met them before, but out and about was near a local charity shop, and a guy came up and chatted to me, and I was like, "Oh wow, I've been recognised. Are you the guy off YouTube?" I've had a few people who have been too scared to come up to me and say hello. But if you see me right anywhere and like at Carboots, charity shop, jumble sales, and I'm out and about, do say hello. I'm always happy to say hello and have a little chat with you. But don't worry if you see me like when I'm busy getting the goodies, when I'm sourcing. Always happy to chat as I'm getting the goodies. Someone recognised me when I was volunteering church last summer. So it was so strange. It was in my town. It can be definitely 100% strange. Like, wow, I've been recognised for what I do, and for me personally, it's my confidence level goes like sky high. It's like, wow, it gives me strength to actually think, wow, this is brilliant. Do I still get nervous before going live? With a guest, yes. On my own, perfectly fine. But with a guest, yes, I get nervous quite a bit. I always have to rethink during the day what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to say, and get a little bit nervous. I sometimes do get nervous when I like. Well, I suppose so. If there's not many people in, like someone's gone live, like tonight, and all the rest of that, and bits and pieces, or I'm like, I've run out of topic for a while. That's why I love some people chatting a lot, so I don't run out of topic because I'm not the most chattiest bloke in the world. But yeah, with guests, I do. And if something's going wrong, it frazzles my brain if the technology just decides to go, nope, I'm not working today. But no, I do with guests. Yes, with guests, I do go quite nervous. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for popping in, mate. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm actually all right, mate. I'm actually all good. Always good chatting to you whenever I see you at Carboots and chat shop. Yeah, it definitely is. Good to chat to another fellow reseller who's not too far away. It makes those waiting for varying things like Carboots and jumble sales and that much more bearable if waiting an hour or 2 hours or however. Or if certain people we know, Jamie, are going to be waiting all day for a certain jumble. Yeah, I think sometimes that's a good thing if I know what you do. I've had in cases where people get stressy, like, "Oh, what are you doing that for? What's the point? Why are you looking up things?" And they don't like it. But mostly, I don't mind. They're making the sale for that particular charity. 100%, yeah, definitely, 100%. Let's get into the next part of the done the contacts, doing live streams as Ali says about nerves being live. Yes, I do get nervous with guests. I used to get nervous doing one-to-one lives, and I wasn't sure. But over the years, I've gained the confidence to actually do the lives, and I find it pretty easy enough with a topic and stuff. Sometimes I don't like the odd weeks here and there. I don't do the lives, but mainly most weeks, I thought a weekly live would be fine. Get some guests on occasionally, and yeah, and yeah, I do find them okay. Like when I was my birthday live, I was quite nervous doing that because I wasn't sure how that would go. Knew the guests anyway because I'd met all the guests before, and it's just like not trying to tread on their toes when they're speaking, or trying to be able to like um sort of interact with the guests. I find it quite hard and nervous, like the Asperger's and stuff. It's like, oh, but I've got used to it. And as you saw throughout the time I was on the live, I'm much more focused and less nervous on that particular one. That's live streams. Next, we're going on a general, meeting people in general. So not just through reselling things, just meeting people like mates and mates, or I don't know, a distant cousin or something can be quite nervous, in a way, but it can be a good thing to meet people. Cause I know, like, when I used to meet my cousins and stuff, and like people up north, and through dad's side of family or mum's side of family, and it can be quite nerve wracking. Not seeing them a lot and never know what to talk about, and used to sit there in their houses, just sit there and just cower. But yeah, it can be. And just meeting the general public, if you're gonna meet someone, like, not just in a, like, for friendly way, like, for example, like, if you're going to, like, a corner shop and you see the same person time and time out, and just converse, saying, "Hi, how are you?" and "Thanks very much for that," and just have a few seconds chat, and that's it. It all helps. No worries, appreciate that. Um, ah, ba-boom! I did it twice. Only person we need to drive through hit a Picasso. Yeah, a Pablo Picasso. Ba-boom! Yeah. Oh, that was bad. Yeah, he had the brake, but he's on. I thought, shit. Um, do you feel nervous meeting other YouTubers, or do you feel like you know them already? I think I'll be nervous meeting a subscriber. Right. Would I feel meeting nervous? I used to, back in the early days when I did like first couple of years, when I met resellers at meetups, and if I met them at, like, jumble sales, Carboots, jumble trails, because I met a few people through jumble sales, like Nick and Andrea. When I first bumped into Nick and Andrea at a jumble sale, I was shitting myself. Literally, I'm not even joking. Because the first actual time I saw them, I couldn't go up. I could not go up to Nick or Andrea. I could not at a jumble sale. I could not. So I met them once. Um, no, it was twice at meetups, and that was fine because it's an enclosed environment. But outside, I was scared. I couldn't get. I didn't think I could get my words out. But when I met them, I scared Andrea after death. All right. Oh. Andrea. But it was great to meet them at a jumble sale twice. They're filling their car. I got a sneak preview of their haul. But also, me and subscribers, as I said, it was weird at first when someone, like, met me, because, like, the first subscriber, as I said, was down a local charity shop, and he bumped into me literally, and he said, "Are you Peter from Peter Ray's Adventures?" "I am indeed, yes." I've always got to remember to ask their names, and consider, because sometimes I shout them out on the videos, and sometimes I don't, if I don't want to be shout out. You know what I mean? But I always remember. Can't remember who it was. Down near where I live, I was doing the charity shops, and I'd just finished doing the charity shop. I was going to go for a pint in one of the pubs, and a lady said to me, 'cause I think she texted me or something, or WhatsApp me, or no, not WhatsApp, must be Facebook or something, because I didn't have Instagram back then, and that's nothing. And I was like, okay. And she crossed the like, well, she was over the other side of the road, and I didn't see her, and she said, "Oh, I saw you in the." And I was like, "Oh, okay. You should come up to me and say hello. I was a little bit nervous. I didn't want to disturb you. Doesn't matter." She came up to say hello, and I was like, because I think she, like, face with me, and that was, like, the second time that someone had done it. And then obviously through Carboots and jumble sales and that, I get recognised a fair amount these days, and I know a lot of people who recognise me many times, and we bump into each other and go, "Oh, all right, mate." I may forget names, but I try to remember these names. And also, I was nervous as hell going to other platforms like Instagram and stuff. Because I shunned it for years, and then I went onto it one night, and that was it. I'm on it all the time. Boom. It's like going onto other platforms, reselling platforms, like, for example, Vinted, Etsy, Depop, and other ones like that, Poshmark, and all the rest of that. It's like nervous for me, even to this day. Not so much. It's like I have to work things out literally like to a T and go, right, that's there. Meticulous I am. I have to be. But it all comes together. When I've done one thing, done something once, that was fine. It's a bit like when I put on GSP many years ago. On my listings, I was nervous. First thing I sent was a CD to America. I was like, oh my days, that's sold to America. What do I do? And then the message a few people, and Bob's your uncle. Done, sold, brilliant. And there's many other things went to America and other places. And it's simple as for our GSP Global Shipping Program. 1977 on a Ford Cortina. Wow. Oh, well, was it hand signals out the door? Out of the window, out the window. Like my mum said, hand signals out the window. Passing tests. Yeah, I passed my test in 2008. Yeah, miraculously, I did. And I was like, hang on a minute. That's a laugh. Because we had local elections, obviously, around the country. And, like, thinking, because we had a few polls filled in badly here. And they just not filled in properly. They just filled over. I'm like, yeah, I did see that. And that wound me right up. Say no more. Let's have a look down the list. Oh, hi, Ian. Thanks for popping in. Hope always well, mate. Appreciate you popping in, mate. Oh, wicked. That's really nice to know. I really do appreciate it because I do try and find topics and then guests occasionally. And when it's like my birthday live and when I had Derek on, talk about his barn. And yeah, it really perks up the week because I usually do the same thing most nights and it gets a bit boring. But I appreciate that. Any questions, put them in the side chat. Oh, appreciate that. Thank you, Ian. Just have a look down the list. No, I wasn't. No, because like at that point, Mandy, I'd been to 3 meetups already, and literally, that would have been my 4th meetup. So I've been to, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meetups. I got more planned this year than that. And yeah, I'd been to many a few meetups anyway, and I was like there. And it was literally like, I think at that point, I was just so happy to be somewhere else. And literally like, I was in the adrenaline rush, literally, so I wasn't nervous at all. 100%, yeah. I know exactly, yeah. I've got a couple of those at the moment. People through reselling and stuff that unfortunately I have to avoid because they keep going on about varying things and it's like not what I'm about. The next bit of topic go through quickly. Going further to source at Carboots. So do drive further to source. As Reseller Kid said, he's going to hopefully pass his test, fingers crossed, touch wood, and be able to go further sourcing. So do you go further sourcing via the train or bus or car? Are you nervous in sourcing different towns or areas? Like, for example, if you saw Ricky Lee flipping sloth, jammy dodger flips, and bold finds in the same Carboots, like vultures, literally. And some people would be nervous about, like, seeing those people if you sort of knew them, not by face, but via like if you knew them through the live streams and stuff, and seeing their faces on their videos and that, it's like, ah, damn, and nervous about like getting stuff at car boots. Like for a number of years since I've been doing reselling since 2007, like May 17. I was nervous at first going places because I didn't like. Basically, for me, not so much nervous about going to that place. It's about driving there because I didn't know how to get there, and I was scared getting lost and that sort of thing. But once I'd got over that over the years, and it's just not an issue. Issue being now, so sometimes I can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. But I do particularly sometimes get a little bit nervous going further afield. But these days, 90% of the time, it's time and motion. Whereas you got to think, if this car boot's an hour and a half away, or like an hour away, or jumbo sales an hour away, is it worth my time to like go there via driving? Is it going to cost me how much in petrol? Will I get anything? How many other resellers are going to be there? Do I need to get there at the crack of dawn to get in the queue, or what? If you don't get anything, then it's a bad day all round. Particularly. But no, I enjoy meeting people and stuff. Even today, I literally had my phone in my hand because I had my phone on silent, and my dentist phoned up because I've got a dentist appointment next Wednesday. And they had to change the time because the person who I see is coming in later, and so I had to change the time. And I was at that particular time earlier, I was happy to speak to the person because normally I'll be like, oh no, don't know, because if it's not a number I actually got in my phone marked dentist or so and so's name, I'm like, shit, who are they? And even to this day, I sometimes don't answer, but I answered, and that was fine, done. And I've got it noted down and perfect. I was like, wow. And my mum said, wow, you've done it. Yep, it's all good. I'm not on Posh. No. No, not on Posh Mark at the moment. I think I saw Sophie SB Reselling is on Poshmark. Was it? I didn't realise. I did not realise, Mandy, to be honest, because I was in my own little world. Like, I walked literally basically at a Bristol meetup 2019 April. It's about a 15-minute walk from a station. I didn't realise Carla would give me a lift. I walked it from the station, absolutely like flogging my guts out to this hotel, Premier Inn or wherever it was. And then bang, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think. I went in and sorted out, like, in the pub. I had a pint before I put my case away, and I didn't even realise. I was like, oh, all right. I think I did. Literally, I jumped out my skin. I was like, what? And there's Dave. Dave Repairs. Literally, like, laughing his head off. But no, it was like, was it? Oh, I didn't know that. Very, very, very occasionally I think about back to that, and I go, because someone mentioned that the other day. Well, no, the other week. I think, was it a week or a month? At some point recently, through my connection of people I chat to, who were the blonde people at Bristol. Oh, you and Let? Ah, okay, it's understandable. Fair enough. Met Ricky Lee at a car boot when I'm back down south for the weekend. I felt a little nervous. I personally would do too, because roughly know. Well, actually, you can always find out where he lives anyway through his eBay account. But roughly, before, like, you could roughly can tell where he's from. He isn't that actually far. It's about an hour, hour and a half. Well, not even that. From where I am. I'm not going to say right now. That's it. He is an hour and 2 minutes away, roughly, from where I live, and I worked out quite a lot of the car boots he goes to via other people who goes to those particular car boots, and all the runs that have been like he's been out to, like, the video you got 100,000 views on. He went there and there's about 5 other YouTubers, and I worked out where that was, and that's over an hour, and that comes to a point: is it worth my time going? And I was chatting to another reseller, and we come to the conclusion it wasn't that many people going per week, because where he lives, he's got more opportunity to go to car boots. Where I am, I've got to travel a bit further to most of the other car boots, because there is a few local, but they're not always as brilliant as other ones further afield. Because I think Reselling Poly has said that, Sam and others, where they've gone to a different town and gone boom, 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 picked up loads of stuff, where they go to run their locals and stuff, local areas. I think, oh, this is crap, because you go run there a lot, you see a lot, but when you go to different areas, you see different items that you pick up anyway. It's different. Even though Ricky Lee watches my channel, messaged me a few times. Yeah, I've been messaged Ricky Lee a few times, and that's fine. But I've never met Ricky on that. Okay, right. Next point. Go through the points. Go for a general point. Talking on a phone. As I mentioned, for me personally, talking on the phone can be quite hard to do, because, like, even to this day, it's like not knowing the person, it's difficult. When you get put in situations and you never know if it's a spammer, which happened beginning of last year. But it's, as I say, it's got it's different over the years since I've become more confident speaking to people on the phone. That's just a short one. If you've got any questions, put them in the side chat. Let's have a look down the list. So making friends in general life or in reselling. As we know, we go through life making friends, and then friends go here and there and everywhere else. They have different avenues, or move abroad, or go somewhere else, or go in the army, or whatever it may be. Cheers, Chrissy. Thanks for popping in. Such, and even in reselling, you meet people and you think, okay, strike up a friendship, and some of it, like, well, I think most of it, is mainly a business side of a relationship, where you, like, with contact, for example, or another branch of that, it's just a person you meet at a car boot randomly once every so often. Like, a few of them that I do meet once every so often. But it's nice to meet people and be able to say, right, so and so's coming down for whatever it may be. Like when I met Derek and Richard last year, at the localized start of the mini run, and able to meet them outside a sourcing capacity or meetup capacity, and that was brilliant. And I'm always do look for people, like meeting people, friends, as such, and in a friend sort of way, it gets into that point where it's like girlfriend, marriage, all that sort of stuff, right? Particular, and as I've been shunned in the past, girlfriends and things have happened that have like led me to be so low. In fact, low is like really bad. I mean, won't even describe how bad it was at one point, many moons ago, right? For a breakup and that, and it's like getting back into that sort of aspect. It took me years and years and years to strike up more friendships with people, and I applaud reselling as such in one avenue to help me in my confidence levels when meeting people out and going, okay, I can actually talk to people. I could talk to women like that I couldn't do years ago, or talk to people and from different backgrounds. Because a lot of the time, like when you go into towns and villages and people, and like especially like London, you got to be very careful what you say and what you do. Otherwise, that's it. Um, Literally, you're going to be one word or another, effed. You know what I mean? But it's getting people together at one particular group in a room, like in a pub or in a room, and those social barriers just disappear. Um, and yeah, getting back into it, like I meet more people. And when I used to work with kids and that, breakfast club after school, years 4 to 11, primary school age, and used to work with mainly women, and that was fine. Yeah, bickering and such, but some of them didn't get on with. Some I got on with pretty well and have a nice laugh and really enjoyed. Make myself like um make me come out of my shell because over the years through my basically through my appearance, like acne and as a teenager and glasses and um big teeth and ears and all the rest of that sort of stuff, like verbally bullied throughout quite a lot of my teenage years. And it wasn't to a point where I'd gained a strike sort of like a common ground friendship with a guy who was hard as nails, who helped me out through um latter years of high school, that I actually sort of didn't go off the rails as such. And that's why I think over the years, going to college, that's one reason why I went to college in the first place, to sort of like gain more confidence. Plus, I knew people anyway at college, like school people. Actually, I didn't know I was going to go, and I was like, "Oh, great," because I didn't know who was who. And then I knew someone else, guy called Andrew, who knew someone else, who knew my ex, who knew basically a number of about 35 people, literally through when I used to go clubbing back in the good old days. But the fact is, like, my confidence like was low anyway, and it didn't help. But being able to like go back to like confidence level with working with nice people and meeting people in reselling is always a good thing. As I say, trial tribulations over years through varying things, not just appearance wise, but other varying things, and it's hard. But I've learnt to sort of take anything, like take as it comes, each day as it comes. Like I always find that I'm like good enough to be in any sort of background, whether I'm um down a local chubby pub, or at a gig, or walking down Peckham High Street or Brixton, where it's all full of crime and that, or if I'm going to like somewhere posh, I always feel that I can fit in. Whereas back in many years ago, I didn't have that confidence level to feel that I could fit in. I just felt like, what am I doing here? Why is this, that, and the other? And I was just like, shut myself away. That's why I used to play many games and stuff, and the computer games. I used to play Foot Manager, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Rome Total War every weekend. Literally, I wouldn't go out anywhere. Um, yeah, and same here. I just do it via varying things, whether it's dentist or doctors or something, or occasionally, or my mother phones up and you haven't answered. I'm sorry, it was on vibrate or it was on silent. Had office jobs in the past, so using the phone, not really bothered, but I don't like cold calling, but okay ringing customers when there's a problem. Understand that, yeah, particularly, yeah. I've never actually had an office particular job, but it did sort of like I had a couple of jobs. Like I was working for a couple of days in Tesco's, a local Tesco's, big superstore, and I got let go due to their financial last in, first out sort of thing. And I did one working day at a local warehouse, and that was just stressful enough as it is. And I just, oh, it was yeah bad. Can understand that. Yeah, if it wasn't for myself, just going, oi, get up, get out, get moving, meet people, and wasn't for me filming and people, and because for years filming people, like filming out in the street, I used to get people going, "Oh, you're doing that? You're a da 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 da. Don't do that. Don't do this." I mean, oh, and I always waited for people to walk past. And when randomers, strangers, like I had a couple of kids, probably about 10, 11, a few years ago now, back before the pandemic, when I went to Richmond Park, and they asked me for my YouTube name, like, and I was like, oh shit, what do I say? Because I got very scared of doing that. And these days, like, if people ask, normally it's because they know who I am, and they ask, like want to talk to me. But some very, very, very occasionally, I get someone come up to me and say, "Are you filming?" I say, "Yes, I'm filming. What's your channel?" Sometimes they say, "Please don't film." I do a few times. Okay, no worries. But sometimes they ask, like a couple of kids asked. I was like really nervous about that, but it is what it is. Well, I did organise a couple of meetups quite a few years ago, but I didn't really get a response particularly. To this day, I don't feel like I've got a gravitational pull. I was talking about that the other day about a gravitational pull. What I mean by that regarding meetups as such, as where like Nick and Andrea have got a gravitational pull for YouTube. They can pull a lot of people to a meetup where it is. Say it's near their hometown or in Hitchin or something. Or like Kyle or someone, or down to Eastbourne or Manchester or whatever. I feel personally that I don't have that gravitational pull, whether it's via Instagrammers, for getting Instagram people to meetups, or resellers to I would love to do another one, but I don't particularly feel I've got that sort of pull to actually get people to come over. And I get nervous if it's just me sitting. I've done that twice now, sitting in a pub on my own for ages, where hardly anyone turns up. It's like, oh, I've been here for ages, and we're going to turn up. I couldn't do that particularly, but it would be nice if there was a Londoner meetup like. Reselling means you work from home. I source from home, so you don't need to meet people very often, especially over the winter. Okay, I understand where you're coming from. I've been like that for a long time, but as I'm an only child and I'm a carer and such, and I don't get much outlet for meeting people as such. So reselling, sourcing, and going out, particularly filming and meeting, not particularly well, chatting to people on the way as you to do any filming gives me the confidence levels to do a lot of things. But I understand where you're coming from though. Bills and Moon. Quickly go through the other ones. Bargains. Getting the bargains at Carboots, folks. So, reselling topic. So, do you, or should I say, are you a hard bargainer? Do you go around a car boot, a charity shop, a jumble sale, jumble trail, and go, how much for this? Will you take £1? You take 50p? If I get this and that and the other, would you do a good deal? If you see Pete sales the unexpected, oh, he's the king of bargaining. He will bargain something down literally. Oh, I can't think of anyone else who does the bargaining for the at Carboots and stuff like that. When I first started going back to Carboots after many years, I was like really shy at bargaining with dealers and well, like families and stuff. I was like scared, but I got to learn over the years. You have to get the good deals. You got to get a bargain out of them. I may like if I think something's worth like a decent amount, and I may pay up for an item, but normally I try and get a bargain. If it's like a little kid, it gets very difficult when like a particular mother who says to her daughter or son, "How much do you want for so and so? It's yours." You pick a price, and you're like, "Oh, what are they gonna say?" Like, because it was like when I brought all that tech deck stuff. It, the dad said that to her daughter, "What do you want for it all?" And she wasn't sure. I'm in R, and he picked out a price, and we'll fine by it. But and that particular, but I understand where Derek's coming from as well. I almost always offer prices unless I think it's a decent, fair price already. Correct, yeah, that's what I try and do myself. Yeah, it does mean with the right seller. Some people can be right stressy about like, oh no, it's worth 25 quid. No, it's not. Not to you, it ain't anyway. But yeah, I do like a bit of negotiation on the But back in the day, I got scared. I couldn't do it. But these days, as you've seen in the last few years, I get in there with the bargains. If I think it's right, well, like Derek said, then that's fine. I will. But as I say, like if it's like a little kid who says like for £1, or and then you're sort of like, okay. But normally I do check with like the mother or the father and say, is that okay? But normally, like if it's just a deal or something, you try and get money. Like if I like get a bundle of stuff together and ask how much. Like when I was getting those tapes, so steel tapes and the VHS tapes as well. I asked how much, and we negotiated on a deal. I say I don't always get all the deals on my car boot videos. I try and get as many as I can, and like try and edit those down as such. But it's good to see what people and how they haggle with items, because it can be like Ricky Lee. He gets in there. He's got a way of haggling. Ricky Lee, literally like cheeky chappy he is when he haggles, and that. Yeah, 100%. It can be, yeah, very lonely. It's good to meet people out, and I say as I'm my own child, it's harder to get an outlet. Yeah, definitely. It used to feel awkward for me, but these days I'm straight in there because I know if I don't get that particular item, 15 people. Well, 15. Well, that's a bit much. 10 people will be in there straight away. Depends, especially if it's a small car boot. Bigger ones, there's less people after particular items, but smaller car boots, they're in there straight, and you gotta get in there quick. And sometimes, like at a smaller car boot, like on a Saturday car boot days, the do go to, which hasn't started just yet because the weather was bad last week. It's a smaller car boot, and a lot of people are in their boots trying to get stuff before they set up, and sometimes you have to pay up to get an item because you know that 5-10 people will be sniffing around, flapping their wings, vultures, to get in that with their clause to get an item because they know it's worth X amount of money. But mainly, if it's a bigger car boot, you can get good deals on items and be really happy. Because when I first started doing the deals, negotiating on deals, I used to be like, wow, I've got this, wow, I've got this for such a good price. It used to make my day getting a good deal. Lee says there he doesn't like bartering and ripping people off. If I know it's a good deal, I will pay what they are asking. Higher priced items, I have no problem with bartering though. Yeah, I can understand where you come from. Yeah, if I know it's a good deal, I have it pay it, I'll pay it. Definitely. So high price, yeah, high priced item, or if I'm buying a new few things, yeah, definitely, Pete. Definitely. If it's someone I buy from regularly and the price is fair, I won't haggle. I don't buy from people who quote eBay prices at Carboots. No, that's kind of annoying when they do that. Like they're like, oh well, this is going for this on eBay. I used to think, oh well, sell it on eBay then. But these days I say, well, why don't you sell it on eBay then? It just winds me up. But I understand that. The thing is, if you save yourself £5 on buying items, another £5 you have to spend on stock. Yes. Definitely is, yeah. And money, in a crisis, climate crisis in this country with all the food and stuff and everything else going up is a good thing. Hi Julie, thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Get to another question in a sec. Some people get aggressive if the seller doesn't accept their offer. I'm not a fan of car boots. A lot of manly men running from car to car. I really see how resellers get a bad name. Yeah, it can be the other way around as well. Whereas, yeah, some people go, yeah, the seller of the item gets aggressive as well if you've asked to look at an item or something. Like some people don't even like touching it. Oh, one guy who is there at my local most weeks with his son, he goes round beforehand, picking all the good bargains up and sells it with Lego and other cars and stuff, cards, Lego and all that. And I went over last year to what I think it's 2 separate occasions on 2 separate car boots last year and just touched one item and said, oh, get off there, don't touch it. I'm thinking, hang on a minute. Now, I said to him, like, it's a car boot, you're allowed to touch. Oh, no, you're not. Well, yeah, you are. I said to him, well, just get lost, mate. I got in a right hump about it. But, yeah, I understand how that is. Yeah, I used to be the same thing, but I've just got to learn to deal with it these days. Yes, 100%. Yeah, if they've got a price list on mind. But with the car boots and that, like, you go to, I sometimes do know stalls what they're gonna quote price wise. That's why I sometimes say that stall is gonna quote eBay prices because you know they've been there and done it and you've asked them before as such. I don't haggle with my guy. I pay what he wants generally, keep him happy. Most stuff is cheaper than what I would normally pay, so I don't mind paying his higher prices on some stuff. Although, if I really can't pay what he wants, I offer and explain my margins. I see that, Derek. Yeah, with what you're saying there, about that. Yeah, always like with a contact at a car boot. Yes, you pay what they want as long as your margins can accept it. Definitely, 100%, definitely. And it's the same with if you know a particular item's going to sell for 10, 15, 20 times the amount, you're willing to pay that slight bit extra, and it's fine about it. That's why, like, I paid £25 for all the tech deck stuff. Excuse the voice. Like the fingerboards, finger skateboards, and all the ramps and stuff. I paid £25 all in because little girl wanted £1 a skateboard, and I said, if I get the whole lot, what's your best price? And then he said to Dad, and Dad said £25. I said, yeah, that's perfectly fine, because I knew if I didn't get it, someone else would be coming up behind me and picking it all up for whatever they're going to pay for it. But I know I can get a lot more than £25 to make my money back comfortably with just the skateboards. That includes with fees and stuff and all the rest of that. So it's always good to have that knowledge as well. Learning is earning. You earn while you learn, definitely. Uh, I feel like if I wanted to pay eBay prices, I wouldn't be in this wet field at 5 a.m. and freezing. 100%, yeah. Yeah, you're thinking, excuse me, mate, or love, or chief, or boyo. eBay prices go on eBay, not at a car boot. I'm here at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's freezing. My feet are wet. And you're charging me this amount? No, thank you very much. You always got to be polite. Aggressive but polite. I mean, don't shout and start swearing. Never do I ever swear when I'm going sourcing. Like, well, the odd occasion, very, 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 very rarely odd occasion, like, it happens, and I may catch it on camera, and, like, it just happens, but 9 times out of 10, no. If someone's gonna annoy you, you can shout them down in a sort of like a friendlier sort of way, with like witty remarks and bits, things like that. Not just like I see it all the time. People having the punch ups, and it's horrible. Like, oh right, that's where you get it from Zahir. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. He's done that for me over the years for a few little bits and pieces, and always perfect fine. Like Nick done. If I see anything from Nick that I would like, I'll say to him, "If you still got this such, how much do you want?" And he gives me a deal, and I pay him. And that. Right. What we got left? What we got left? And then the general thing about getting nervous, in life and reselling, in life, when you move away from your friends and family. Carboot Chris has done it. I'm sure Richard there, Night's Life, has got nervous about it, moving away from friends and family and such, and like even like my dad, he moved from northeast down to the south for various reasons, away from his family, to try and support more opportunities down here than up there, years and years ago. And it's the same like a lot of people that I sort of know, they move away from varying reasons, whether it be like they get married and they've got to move away, or they move away for a job, or they move away for the lifestyle. It's like when you see these programs where people go abroad, reselling in the sun or something, a place in the sun or something like that, and they go to Spain or they go to Greece or something, usually for a holiday home, for example. And always tricky to sort of know that, like when you move away and you don't see your immediate family a lot, and it's like can get a bit emotional. And there's, as I say down there, getting married and that same thing. Sometimes you've got to move away, but not often than not you married like locally anyway. So where else we got? Got loads here. Just quickly expanding reselling business. So expanding the reselling business, i.e., bringing in bulk deals. We talked about bulk deals earlier, like bringing the bulk deals. What Mel does, books, thousands of books, and a warehouse. Aussie Thrifters got a warehouse, Nick and Andrea have got bulk deals in, and Andrew as well. Money Mentor's got clothing back in the day, and all big bulk deals. And you've always got to look at the fact is, can you afford the bulk deal? Can you, or are you able to expand your business where into another warehouse like Tom did 1,000 times the English thrifter, Tom the English picker. You've got money for it. Has you got a contact for that particular like expanding your business, for example, like what Derek says there, he is building his warehouse. So he is doing YouTube videos about building his warehouse in his barn so he can expand it for the next 5 years or so, where he can be comfortable well off to do whatever he needs to do. And that. It's always a good thing to firstly work out, have you had enough particular sales per annum or over the particular few years to actually be able to go, right, this is where I'm at now. I have been in the bedroom reselling. I have had a little room like in here. I've had storage containers. I've moved up a level after that. Do I want to move up? You always got to say to yourself, do I want to move up? Or do I want to continue how I am and be comfortable with what I'm doing and have decent money, rather than having the stress of a bigger warehouse, more items coming in, having to sell X amount of money, X amount of items per week, like what Mel does and other people and stuff. It gets tricky having those bulk deals, bringing in the bulk deals as well. Keeping those contacts sweet, as we discussed before. Some contacts want you to buy everything and everything. Some let you pick and choose, but you may have to take the rough items with the smooth, the brilliant items. Recording in public. We touched that earlier about recording in public for YouTubers. Let us know in the side chat or the comments below. If you're a YouTuber, do you still get nervous recording in public, like recording your videos with a camera and such? Because I just use a GoPro these days mainly. And yeah, I got nervous and people looking at me going, "Oh, what's he doing?" And they're shouting out, "Oi, oi," and all that sort of stuff. I'm thinking, no. But these days, like for about 2-3 years, I'm thinking, nope, no way. I'm not nervous in filming. Like since like pandemic and that, not being nervous so much. Very, very, very occasionally, if I'm having a really bad day, my anxiety kicks in. I'm going, oh shit, oh, but not very often. I've learned to deal with it, especially when I'm filming around the Carboots. I've got it strapped to me. I'm not touching it and going, looking at it. I'll just get on with it and get deals. As such, and recording in public is all good and well, but you've got to know where you can record and where you can't record, because you don't want to get banned from a particular area, like a charity shop or a particular public park. Well, not a park, but you know what I mean. So yeah, it has been a problem in the past. Like, and you got banned from a charity shop for recording. And your place you can't record, people just tell you once and go, sorry, you can't record. Okay, yep, no worries. I'll delete the footage, and you deleted it, and that's it, you're gone. But literally, recording in public is perfectly fine for me. But I sort of pick and choose where I record, because I'd never like really record in jumble sales. And I never really used to do it in jumble trails, like garage sales and that. But we don't have them these days, so it's no bother now. But I very rarely secretly film in jumble sales, book fairs, because I may want to go again. I don't know how the people who run them will react and go, "Oh no, get out, get out. What are you doing?" Because they're usually older people anyway, and they don't understand. So you've got to be polite. And also, when you're filming in public and you're filming, like you got people with you. I see it all the time. Some people you're filming with, if you're in a group of people, they don't want to be filmed. And I always say, "Are you okay with me filming you?" Um, if they say, Sorry, I'm not." Okay, that's perfectly fine. I won't film you. You got to be polite. It's difficult when you're in a meetup and you get a little bit of footage. People don't want to be in there trying to hide, and you sort of you understand. But as Derek was saying here, about he still gets nervous per se, but I found recording too much hassle for the grief I got, so I stopped. Yeah, at your car boots, because obviously they don't allow you really to film. Oh, come on. There we go. The Victorians built it for you. Like that, what Romans did for me, what the Victorians did for me. That historian guy. When filming, I always ask if it's a new place, says Monkey Thrifter. If I ask if it's a new place, I have never filmed before. I've had people ask not to film or edit them out, so I do, which is understandable. I totally understand that. It's like when I go to museums and stuff and film, like the one in Hitchin. I asked if I was allowed to film, and I said yes, that's perfectly filming. What's your purpose? I said I have a YouTube channel called Peter Ray's Adventures. People like me to film varying places that I go, and it's just for people to have a look what I film, and I've shown in the channel what I do, and they're fine with it. Like when I went to a local museum as well a few years back, and that I asked, and I was allowed to film. But sometimes it's got to the point where I've actually had to send emails to companies um, about filming, but not for a long time, because I haven't been able to get out to many museums, or like if I go up to London to film in the some of the museums there, and Madame Two Swords and that. So you got to know where you can film, where you can't film. For example, Bills, Joes, Jacks, Freds, Robert. Keep on top of your bills, reselling and non-reselling. Make sure you got enough money in the pot to pay your bills. They're going up. They always will do. They always are going to go up. So you got to make sure how much money you've got per month coming in if you've got a job or if you're reselling full time to pay your bills. And they don't stop, the bills. They never stop. They never ever do. So you got to keep on top of your bills, top of your paperwork. And as I know here from myself and my mother, I got to take off my mother, where leave it to the last minute quite a lot. Oh no, I got this. Oh shit, I've done this, I've done that. So like all this paperwork, I'm like, what all this about? I've got this for this, that for this. I'm like, oh jeez. I knew that can make you a bit nervous, especially when you're paying your like big bills like taxes and all the rest of that sort of stuff. It's difficult. Paying NI contributions like I did last year, and it's like national insurance. Like, it's stressful. But you got to keep on top of it, folks. Keep on top of your bills. That's the last one for the general. Moving away. Oh, here we go. Moving away and finding new sourcing spots, i.e., charity shops, Carboots. Let me know in the side chat or in the comments below if you have moved away from where you were born, if you resell, and have you found new spots to source? Are they good compared to your other sourcing spots, or are they not as good? Because it's like what Carboot Chris has done. Moved from Manchester to near Plymouth, and he had to have a think and look online and go round places to see where places are to source items and get deals and stuff. Like when he moves up to North Wales, near Andrew, where he nicks all Andrew's stuff, right? He has to find out where the best place is to source up North Wales. I've never moved, so I wouldn't know particularly, but I know people who have quite a lot of times, and they're resellers, and they think, it's quite difficult sometimes to get new places to source. Like when Nick and Andrea, they're still finding now after many months good places, good areas to go. You always find different areas are better than other areas. When you moved away from your local area, if you're a reseller, okay, if you're still live at home or live nearby where you lived with your parents, right? But you drive, you can drive 2 hours down the road or wherever, and you go to different areas. That's what I tend to do when the weather's nice. So I go to different areas and source, and you think, oh, this is much better than my locals areas. So yeah, that's a particular one to look out for. If you're moving, always know where the best sourcing opportunities are where you're moving to. Then the next one I've got, because we're nearly at the end there, folks. Nearly at the end. Oh, damn. Are we okay? Yes. Need to break the bloody phone then. Spending up when sourcing. We touched on that earlier about spending up. So if you know an item's worth X amount, then you can spend up a bit more on the items. But as we go to like jumble sales, it's difficult, like, because most of the time they're cheap anyway. Very occasionally you have to haggle, but I very rarely haggle at a jumble sale, and always pay up like what they say. It's always cheap anyway. You get a big bulk deal and stuff with a few items. But when like you're going around Carboots or even at auctions, it's very difficult at auctions to get a cheap deal, because you always got to pay up an extra amount because you've got a lot of other bits and pieces on top of what you've paid anyway. Their fees at auctions, and even at Carboots, you've got to pay. Like sometimes, like when you know the item's worth it, pay up for a bit. But it's just having that particular funds to be able to pay up. If you're paying up like a fiver here and there, that makes no difference. But if you're ramping up your eBay as such, or your reselling game, and you're getting in bulk deals, then yes, you're spending up a bit more, because you've always worked out roughly per item or per bale of clothing or per particular, whether you've got books or whatever it is, right? And you know you can make tenfold, and you're happy to pay that dealer's price or that person's price. That's fine. So don't be afraid to pay up if you know the item's going to make you X amount of money over what you've paid for it. 6Ps. Yeah, don't piss yourself. Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. Correct, Neil. 100%. Lee says there we moved 250 miles from Heathrow to Lancashire, but we only started reselling when we moved up there. Ah. Okay. But I personally think Lancashire is nicer than Heathrow. Obviously. How far from Heathrow Airport were you though, Lee? By the way. Cause it like, yeah. Literally, mate. Lee says they just got a good deal at an auction yesterday. £13.50 for £250 worth of stock. Yeah, as I say, the auctions, there's always like, well, sometimes there is usually a good deal out there, but a few and far between. Because you've got to remember, you've got to pay their particular fees on top of what you've paid already. But paying up is just part and parcel of reselling. Oh, I've got one more left about using multiple platforms. Neil, look at Neil there. Neil, Lee. Only a few miles from Heathrow, but not on the flight path. Lol, stains upon. Ah, okay. I've been to a couple of jumble trail stains upon Thames. Yeah, it's a nice area. How far were you from Fort Park though? Because that ain't that far, is it? Fort Park, Staines. Yeah, the Staines massive. Ali G in the house. Sasha Baron Cohen, correct. So, using multiple platforms, folks. I fail at that all the time. And born in Staines? Oh, okay. Need to see the Staines massive coming out there. Always use multiple platforms. If you think your items that you've got are going to sell on those platforms, because a lot of the platforms like Depop, Etsy, and that, you can only put on certain items, vintage type items. So you got to know your item that we've got, if it's okay for eBay. Will you want to move on to Depop for certain items? Etsy, will you want to try Vinted, but not be the reseller on there, of course, because they're hot on that? Or you want to stick with eBay? Do you want to go down the route of Facebook Marketplace? Do you want to go down Olio, which I forgot someone mentioned a few weeks back about Olio, which the free one. We'll get into those free ones in a sec because of the items. If you want to get rid of those and you don't can't sell them, or you can't be asked to go down a car boot and sell them. So mainly the ones that are ones that you can get money out of. Like for example, you've got like eBay, Vinted, Depop, Etsy, Amazon, Poshmark. One that Carboot Chris uses. One that came over from America. I've forgotten what it's called now. Tip my tongue. And also, for example, let me just get it up. There, I've got it here. Like for example, as well, like as other apps, as well as the ones that you can charge money for and pay their fees. Whereas you got Spock, Olio, Nextdoor, Gumtree, and that, and other places that you can shift stuff. If you're finding you've got a lot of pick your item that you can't sell on eBay, and you don't really want to go down the car boot route and sell it there, or you don't want to chuck it away because of the carbon footprint and all that stuff, you can flog it on Olio, Spock, Nextdoor, Gumtree, and or Marketplace or whatever, and get rid of it and that. So it's a thing to think about. Whatnot. Yeah, that's it. AA. Whatnot. I knew I had it on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, there's a lot of options out there. Most just use eBay and that. But what I do, I sell on eBay, and there's other places online that I can shift items if it for free, stuff that I don't want to deal with, or I can bundle up a load of stuff and wait till I've got enough stuff to go down a car boot, local one, or can sell on the other apps, like Vinted and other bits and pieces, just a few little bits, or Marketplace and that. But I think it's few and far between, like of those particular. Reason being is because of the multiple platform, like not the ones that you can ship items out. Like you can ship on Marketplace and Vinted and stuff, but usually most people would like the items like especially on Marketplace or Olio or other ones. Whereas like, or even ones on Facebook, like local free sites and that, where you can specifically say, like, come and collect the items only, collection only. And you get weirdos who mess you and go, oh, we'll collect. 4 hours later, excuse me, where are you, mate? Beam me up, snotty. You know what I mean? So there's always multiple platforms to use. It's just thinking what's best one for you. So that's all I've got. I wrote down. That's all, folks. So let's get into a little bit of a chat for a few minutes before I end the stream. Be a bit of a long one today. Only a few miles from Heathrow, but not on the flight path. Ah. West Side, bruv. It's like watching like the biopics for like Tupac and Biggie and Biggie Schmalls. West Side. Born and Stained, okay. Just the other side of the river. Other side of the river. That just reminds me of the first Mummy. Brendan Fraser says, like, his character says to Benny, "You're on the wrong side of the river." Yeah, it's not bad. I haven't been for a number of years, but there's a nice little Monk's Walk where you can go past Fort Park, go all the way down and on past like the motorway and stuff. Seen it done many times. So Derek says there he does eBay, Etsy, and Facebook Marketplace. Sound. Let me know down below what platforms you sell on online, and have you sold on any platforms if you don't resell anymore? Let us know down below. Born in Ashford Hospital. Oh, okay, not too far from where I am. I only do eBay. You need to do more platforms. Yes. Whether it be like send stuff on Facebook Marketplace, or if it's like Vinted, like Etsy, Depop, or the Amazon. Yes. Yes, a while back. Neil, I won't. Oh, someone's already gone into it. Okay, Joe Closet. I wasn't gonna go into it, but Joe Closet Geek, say no more. But yeah, he did recently, and there was a YouTube video about it, him wearing a mask. But it disappeared quickly, but sharply disappeared. eBay mainly, but a bit of Etsy, and of course eBay gum. Oh, jeez, I keep forgetting which I eBay gum. That's just a failure right there, but it is what it is. Chrissy said she loves Vinted. So much easier than eBay. Just wish I would let businesses register. Yeah, I've noticed about that over like the last certain amount of months, but they don't allow businesses, so you can only sell a very small amount on there at one particular time. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, it was awful, but it was what it was. Oh, Derek, south of the river. Basically, if you don't know what that's referring to, basically many years ago, when I like 2018 and 19 and that, when I like Steve and Steph from California, America, and that they used to go to thrift stores and do live stream the thrift stores, and I used to watch it quite a lot. I really enjoyed it. And then they would do garage sales in their house and outside in a garage and that garage in the front of their house anyway. And I used to watch those live streams. Now they just do a lot of videos and stuff and shorts and that, which is great. And they also used to say south of the river because BCP used to say north of the river. because it was way north anyway. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It was great. Oh right. Well, Derek can be the eBay Gumminator. Oh, eBay Gum. There you go. Here's my broken stereo. Or I've got a Monopoly board. I ripped it, but I'll sell it on your platform. There we go. The eBay Gumminator. I love that. The eBay Gumminator. Yeah, what for failure though? Failure. There's one F in failure. Oh, there's two F's in flipping failure. Flipping. Okay, yeah. Chris says eBay Vintage Facebook and Poshmark. I registered for Depop but never uploaded to it. Ah, okay. Yeah, I thought about varying things, but it's just like it can take up too much time to have many platforms you've got to list on. Because as we all know, you've got to feed the beast. If you don't keep feeding with items and updating items, sell symbols and stuff, and then the sales drop off like mine right at the moment. They've dropped off a cliff. But that's partly me and partly because life is busy as such. Some people have seen the ghost of a monk crossing the river near Fort Park going to the convent in Lallam Park. Okay. That's another thing that I'm very interested in, which I won't cover tonight, just quickly, like ghosts and ghost hunting and stuff. And I've done it in the past. And same with like aliens and stuff and all that particular. I'm very interested in all that, the paranormal and stuff, and people from across the planets and stuff. And I've always thought we're never alone. And I have heard many things in various old buildings, whether if it may be just a creak or floorboard, or heard a noise or someone saying something, even if I've been on my own. And thinking, oh, but I've never seen anyone. I have seen Nick and Andrea in a Hitchin house. They have orbs, but they do they deny it or what's going on? And that particularly, I can't remember. I was watching someone the other day, and oh no, it was a Gebs that's right, gamer, and she had a ghost on hers. I swear it was. It came on a bottom right hand side. But I do see just random YouTubers, nothing to do with paranormal itself or urban explorers, but normal YouTubers. There's could be dust, could be orbs, could be. If I listen to by headphones, not on these because I need the wireless ones, but my old phone I could use my headphones and could hear varying noises. That's why I always like to watch the people doing paranormal and such and do it myself. But anyway, more about another time because we're nearly at the end. Correct, indeed. I've heard that a many a time. Oh yeah, hi BTP, just popping in, mate. So over the river. Yeah, you were there right at the start. Stephen Steph. Apparently, there's a little old lady who lives in my barn, according to some spirit woman who visited the house a few years ago. Okay. What? An old lady is a Victorian ghost, or what? Is she picking up your chainsaw and throwing it, or what? And some people would say spirits, as in glug, 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 glug. Like I did Saturday night. Christ. Jesus. Saturday night. Oh, yeah. I was out having a good time. Went to Weatherspoons and then we went to a place called McCaffrey's or McCafferty's. It's not as Irish as you sound. But it was a good night out. We got in about, I think I got in about 1ish because the place closed at 12. Hi Chris, thanks for popping in. Any other particular? I wonder if she comes back, Derek, after the roof. You get to fix the roof. Don't fall in when you're fixing the roof, Derek, in the scaffolding and scare her to death. It's like that Bill and Ted Adventures, the second one, Bill and Ted. Like the guy who is the Grim Reaper. or the Grim Reaper in Family Guy. Yeah. Right, folks. I'm going to end the live stream here. Videos for me this week, possibly Thursday or might be actually Friday now. I will edit. I got some footage from a concert I went to on the 25th of March. Yeah. That I need to put into one video. So I got to do that. And then hopefully Saturday I'll be at a jumble sale because as it so happens, talking about contacts, folks, I forgot to mention before I go, contacts, not just contacts in buying, for example, buying physical items, contacts as in people letting you know about jumble sales, Carboots. I've seen X in a charity shop because I've got a couple of those who let me know about jumble sales and stuff, and that, which is always good. So hopefully I've got a jumble sale at the weekend. There's 3. Anyway, there's one that's really, really big that James collects, which I don't know if I will go because I haven't got the money for it. Because apparently you need a lot of money for it, and all day, always at 2:00 in the afternoon. And then if the weather isn't too bad, then possibly Carboot, possibly I'm not sure, but there'll be a video at some point very, very soon. So cheers everyone for popping in. Appreciate that. No, Neil. Contacts as in reselling contacts or contacts as in people telling you things. Like, share, and subscribe. To excuse the voice. Subscribe for more content on this channel, Peter Adventures. And take care. Cheers for popping in, folks. See ya.